On the humid night of July 21, 1971, the lights across Manaus, deep in the Amazon basin, blinked off. Without warning, entire districts of the city went black. Generators at Petrobras, the state oil facility, failed. Backup systems at hospitals didn't kick in. For 22 minutes, Manaus became a jungle wrapped in darkness. Then came the sky. Witnesses reported a pulsing blue orb hovering silently above the Ponta Negra district. Local journalist José Nascimento wrote in O Jornal do Amazonas, "It moved with no sound. The power cut was no accident. When the lights returned, they didn't stabilize. A week later, the blackout returned. Then again. Over the next 18 months, 8 separate outages, always at night, always without technical cause, left engineers baffled. But the strange part wasn't the outages. It was what came during the dark. Hovering spheres, low rumbles, missing time, and cameras that never seemed to capture anything at all. During the second blackout on August 4, 1971, all shortwave and AM radio traffic from Manaus went dead, just as strange lights were seen over the Rio Negro Bridge. The Brazilian Army's 2nd Jungle Infantry Battalion, stationed nearby, scrambled a team to investigate power relays. What they found was weirder. Electromagnetic surges had fried copper fuses without leaving burn marks. The Instituto Nacional de Pesquisas de Amazônia, INPA, received several reports of aerial lights hovering near power substations just minutes before failures. Ham radio operator Carlos Mendez, transmitting from across the river, claimed he heard a signal pulse through his antenna. 3 sharp bursts followed by static. When he triangulated it, it didn't come from Earth. That same week, 2 military helicopters lifted off to scan the jungle. Both returned. One pilot later told a Critica newspaper, "We didn't see a bird, but the instruments spun on their own." They stopped reporting sightings after that. So did the press. In 2023, a team of Brazilian researchers at UFAM's Geoinformatics Lab fed historical outage data into a machine learning anomaly detector, training it on 40 years of Amazon electrical grid logs. One pattern emerged. Blackouts were concentrated near high biomass zones along river junctions, and often followed by eyewitness accounts of low-flying lights. The AI flagged 11 blackout clusters between 1971 and 1973, where grid failure overlapped with UFO reports by more than 80%. It also found a peculiar delay. Each event occurred within 6 to 12 minutes after geomagnetic fluctuation. Not strong enough to disrupt power on their own, but coinciding with radar anomalies in declassified Air Force files. In one 1972 case, electrical engineers reported their voltmeters spiked before going dead. The AI couldn't explain the cause, but it narrowed the footprint. These weren't random failures. They were targeted intrusions into Amazon infrastructure, and whatever triggered them knew exactly where to look and when. In December 1972, a group of children playing near Praia do Tupé, west of Manaus, returned home in tears. They claimed a glowing disc hovered just above the tree line, silent, spinning. Their radio-controlled boat stopped working midstream. The incident was dismissed as fantasy until meteorologist Arnaldo Brito, who had set up sensors near the river, reported unusual readings, sudden electromagnetic spikes, and a localized temperature drop of 4 degrees Celsius within seconds. His instruments recorded the spike, then failed completely. Military teams recovered the equipment. Brito was never publicly interviewed again. The Instituto Militar de Engenharia, EME, later released a bland statement: "No threat to national security, equipment malfunction due to humidity." But internal memos leaked in 2007 revealed they classified the case under unidentified aerial disturbance, tagged repeat event likely. The kids weren't wrong, and the river had secrets it wasn't ready to share. In 1973, while constructing early dam infrastructure at Balbina, engineers from Eletronorte documented intermittent GPS loss, instrument failure, and delayed telemetry. A 1973 internal Eletronorte report, declassified in 2010, contained this phrase: "Unknown low-altitude aerial object cross construction zone, visual confirmed, radar silent." The object was described as metallic, non-reflective, and emitting a rhythmic vibration. The blackout struck Manaus again 2 nights later. Was it retaliation? Years later, AI analysis of dam proximity to blackouts found a strange correlation. The closer a power station was to pristine canopy or indigenous lands, the higher the chance of a mystery outage. Were these events a warning, a scan, or something mapping humanity's reach into untouched forest? The deeper they dug, the darker the answers became. In 2024, satellite firm OrbitalSeer retroanalyzed old aerial film from NASA's Nimbus satellites, recordings that covered the Amazon during the early 70s. Using AI motion tracking, they found something chilling. In multiple frames from July 21, 1971, a geometric object appears over Manaus, triangular, symmetrical, hovering above the Rio Negro for 40 seconds before vanishing. NASA never processed the anomaly. It was background noise. But now AI had pulled it forward. The shape matched reports from Manaus residents, decades before satellite images were publicly available. Whatever was in the sky during those blackouts wasn't just theory. It was recorded, stored, forgotten, until now. And the object? It appeared again, over Corrego do Café, 2008. Different town, same design. Something was watching the jungle long before we had the tools to see it. The Manaus blackouts were never solved. No enemy, no fault line, no system flaw. Just darkness, followed by silent watchers. But today, AI has done what humans could not. It has taken radar, satellite, field logs, and eyewitness notes, and pieced together a record that speaks louder than denial. These weren't isolated events. They were coordinated, observant, non-human incursions, targeting places where power met forest, where technology touched the untouched. We feared the dark, but maybe what came during it didn't want war, just awareness. In the end, it wasn't the military that broke the case. It was machines, looking at old data in new ways. And in that data, one truth echoes: the jungle was never empty. The silence after the blackouts was definitely haunting for anyone aware about this incident. When the lights go out, generally, I can say the surrounding sounds of nature become really louder and noticeable. But during the 2008 and 2011 incident, what happened was unexpected. After the blackout, the people went quiet, forgot to utter words. All they could do was watch and be aware of what was happening. The light out can unleash unheard and unseen species onto the cities. The entire ecosystem gets disturbed as the species go on vacation. But what if something that's not part of the Amazon slips in with dazzling attention and uproar? Usually, the UFO accounts state light coming in from above. But in Manaus, the lights left the ground, as if seeing something that's not be seen would give you horrible consequences, crossing horror. It could be possible that they tested humanity's response and got an unimagined reaction. That's it for this story. I hope I haven't got too far into the story. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. It can help us all with new data. And if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is very important for the channel, you know that well. See you in another Amazon adventure. Thanks for watching.